Greetings, Portal Master. Welcome back to Skylands. Today I'm going to take a look at Jet-Vac from a character design perspective and the figures. I was once a Portal Master just like you, but that was a while ago. I focus on game development these days, but should the need arise for me to return to my Portal Master duties, I will gladly do so. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Series 1. Jet-Vac was introduced in Skylanders Giants. This design is classic. I think this says absolutely everything about what a Skylander is. He sort of has these rune-like engravings on his armor, and I really like the shaping of the armor on his knee pads here. You can see there's sort of an arrow shape here on the figure. There's a bit of squashing and stretching between the left leg and the right leg when you see those arrows there. The posing here is so dynamic, and I think this is really the perfect Skylanders design. You see the flow of his feathers, the visual flow, as they sort of serve as his kind of eyebrows and his hair. And you can see the back of his helmet has an arrow that has a pattern similar to his knee pads on the back of his armor on his legs. You can see that pattern repeated throughout different areas of his design. Really fantastic. I really like the sculpting on his the vacuum on his back. You can see there's some sort of internal ridge molding that catches the light in an interesting way. It just makes it interesting to look at. The paints used, the light blue is slightly metallic, so it really stands out from the matte paint of his under armor. And under his chest armor there are dark feathers that flare out in an interesting way. Just a great design, great use of colors. Blue would be his primary color, but we have dark blue, we have yellow as an accent color, white as his secondary color. Really, really fantastic. Well, really the yellow is more of a secondary color now that I'm looking at that. So white and yellow are his secondary colors, and really just great posing, great design here. We also have the legendary Jet-Vac that we can see here, and it's quite consistent, but we have it's supposed to be black, but it actually looks more like a very, very dark blue, but it's a dark blue, a dark navy, black, and gold. Really cool to see that. It works well with the Jet-Vac design because he has such defined areas to his armor. And we have the LightCore version, and the LightCore, it's so cool to see that. He has a different pose. The posing on this one is not as dynamic or interesting, but it's cool to see them in different poses. There seems to be a bit more texture and definition in his armor on his legs that are just an interesting detail. They don't appear as glossy. On the original figure, there's more glossiness, more shimmer to the paint on his armor. Here it's just a bit more subdued. Cool to see that figure. Next we have the Series 2, and this comes from Skylanders Swap Force. And this is interesting. I think this posing is not as strong. He's more upright, and his left leg is a little awkward, but his expression on his face is just really fantastic. The weapon he is holding appears to be one of his upgraded weapons. The sculpting on his vacuum, the molding is a bit more detailed. It's a larger component, and there's more detail to it, so it's neat to see that. Quite interesting. Again, catches the light in just a fascinating way. I find the color choices on this less interesting because the armor on his hands and his shin area, they are the same color as his under armor, same color as his loincloth, so I find the color choices weaker here. His fingers are also the same color as his under armor, whereas in the previous figures they were different colors, so they were more interesting to look at. So this figure, not quite as strong when it comes to the color choices or the posing, but the expression on this just makes me laugh. It's just really funny. I really like the visual flow of his feathers. And they sort of flare out behind him. Really fantastic. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Series 3 Jet-Vac from Skylanders Trap Team. This one has two weapons. Very cool looking. They are very detailed. You can see the paneling and the studs or the bolts that are expressed on that. The fan blades are not as detailed as they were in the previous figure. In the previous figure, the fan blades were quite very, very detailed. They were inset quite far, but in this one, they're just a light imprint, so the fan blades are not as good, but the detailing on the feathers is higher density detail. You can see ridges in the feathers and smaller, feathers being expressed aside from the overall shape of it. His expression here is not as fun as the previous figure, and if we take a look at his back, the vacuum is now not a separate component. It is just part of the core mold there, and it also is not as interesting. It no longer has a transparent component with molding. It's just a simple paint that's the same color as his armor, his chest armor, so that's not as interesting. His fingers and toes are the same color as his under armor, which is also the same color as the armor on his forearms and shins, so not that interesting. The color choices tend to get weaker and weaker on Jet-Vac, unfortunately, but the red paint has a bit of shimmer to it, and it's cool to see him with a different color. Lastly, we will take a look at his Superchargers. This is Supercharger Jet-Vac. Very interesting. I do quite like this one, and this one finally returns to interesting color choices, more color dynamic. We get to see his fingers and his feet are different colors again, and the armor on his feet has a nice shimmer to it. It has a similar shimmer to the helmet, and we have lost his feathers that were quite interesting because he's wearing a helmet that sort of blocks those feathers off, and we have a simple sort of a mask shape, so it's a simplified shape. You can see that his feathers are sort of sticking out from underneath the helmet. He has fingerless gloves that serve as armor. They cover his forearms, and it is a different component and a different color from his jacket. This is a very cool jacket. This looks like a fighter pilot jacket from the early 1900s, and it's so fascinating to see a different take on this character like that, where it's less armored and more like a fighter pilot. He has a gold belt with a fascinating belt buckle with wings on it. This is a great design. It may be my favorite one because it's simplified and it leans more into the idea of a fighter pilot, which is fitting for Jet-Vac. His weapon is now very different. It's more streamlined, and we have a sort of vacuum with an open fan blade at the back. It's nice and detailed, so it's a significant improvement over the previous one. I like the detailing work on the leg armor. So that is Jet-Vac. These are great figures. I really like this character. LightCore Jet-Vac was actually my very first Skylander. And if you want to see the games that I'm developing, you can check out my interactive devlog. I update that weekly. I just updated it, and I added Jet-Vac as a guest character, so you can actually recruit Jet-Vac and run around. Right now, there is a test battle area. It's not a fully completed battle area, but I will be updating my devlog, so there will be more dedicated battle areas, and I will be updating that weekly. Mostly it's a way for me to share what I'm working on. You can play my interactive devlog and you can see what I'm working on. You can see the character models. I can share behind the scenes. You can recruit and hang out characters from the games that I've made, but also there are other games like Skylanders where I can just put in a guest character once in a while and we can hang out with characters from other series that we really like. I've also just started a Kickstarter for my monster raising game Goobuddies. I'll put the link to that in the description, and if you're interested in monster raising games, I hope you'll check out the Kickstarter. And I would really appreciate it if you spread the word, tell other people, reach out to your favorite content creators, tell them about Goobuddies. I just want to make this the absolute biggest and best monster racing game that I can possibly make. The monster designs, I'm having so much fun creating them, and the Kickstarter will allow me to spend more time creating more. There are 79 species of Goobuddy in the game that you can obtain and raise, but I want more, and with the Kickstarter, the primary goal is to add at least 52 more species. So let me know what other Skylander characters you would like me to cover. Please take care of yourselves, be well. Thank you for spending some time with me today.